You get a little show tattoo. Anyway, so yeah, Best does have the assimilator at his natural, which will actually help him support his high Templar production when this game progresses into mid and late game. And no sign of that second assimilator from Violet, but I'm sure that will be coming up sort of quickly, I have a feeling. Citadel going up for both players. So now both players are going to try to get the high Templar. And there we go. The assimilator is now going up for Violet. So yeah, this is like just crazy. Observer is going out for Best, and Best probably going to think he's sending his Observer the wrong way. Probably thinks he's going to end up in his own base just because their builds are the exact same. You wouldn't know which base is which, besides the fact that they're on opposite sides of the desert. So here we go. Both players have Observers in each other's base. It's important that you keep your first Observer alive for as long as you can, and that can play a big important part because this is your first chance of scouting you really have since your first scouting probe died. And now these Dragoons are moving, and these Dragoons actually are going to be able to pick off that Observer. It's so crazy how they can see a little blur, but now Best is going to do it right back to Violet. Oh, the Observer will fall, so wow. Both players playing in the dark, so I guess it makes it even. So Templar Archives now going up for both players as well. I don't even have to say going up for Best because I have to say going up for Violet. So both players getting up the Templar Archives. Obviously, Storms, they want to get the Storms out. Storms play such a key part in PvP. It really comes down to who can land the Storms better. And it's kind of interesting. Jangbi, probably the king of Storms, I guess you could say, obviously became well known after he played Nada and basically stormed about 30 tanks to death. And since that moment, he's became a pretty well-known player. But he's not a great PvP player, which is kind of interesting considering how big of a part of Storms are in PvP. And look at this little cutie. That's a little cute girl. Yes, a little family event to the StarCraft. We're not going to Denny's. We're going to StarCraft event. So, yes. All right, so yeah, there's not too much going on actually. Just a little shout out for, obviously he's well known, so I don't even know I'm really doing the shout out, but to the Tasteless and the Avatech Intel Classic, definitely worth checking out. They just started their season 2 and it was amazing. Some really creative play, some fun games, and Tasteless good as ever. I love that man. So yes. Here we go. It does look like Best might be moving out and going in for this push. It does look like he's going to lose that Observer, but that's not going to be too... And now, actually, that might slow down his push, considering he did lose that Observer. Maybe afraid of DTs. So it does look like he's going to bring in that shuttle, using a scouting tool, and he was probably going to drop, but obviously those goons are right there. He's going to retreat, and now his whole army is going to retreat. So false alarm for the attack. He's just going to push back here. And yes, more gateways going up here. This is... Forges are upgrading for both players, so we're seeing the exact same build. No one's taken a different path quite yet, and this is just making for some really crazy. This is going to be there's going to be a couple big battles in this game, I have a feeling, just because both armies are so large at the moment. All right, sorry, I was catching my breath there. I've done a couple commentaries today, so I'm a little exhausted, I guess you could say. Now he is taking the third expansion, so Violet quicker to the third expansion. So economically, Violet's in a comfortable situation. Now it's just all about stopping harassment and doing some harassment himself. Okay, so now we're just seeing both players and coaches just looking on. Yeah, this is definitely a downtime moment in this game, I guess you could say. Nothing really going on. Both players trying to tech up. Cannons going up in case just really help defeat the drop. And that's a couple high Templars out, and there is Midas. Midas actually was handed the game from the Big Zerg. Zerg Bong. I like to call him Big Zerg, obviously because of the name. Anyways, but yeah, Big Zerg. Now I call him Big Zerg, but Zerg Bong was actually winning that game, and then basically handed it over to Midas. Really just fell apart. And here we go. We are seeing a drop, and this could very simply, I think this is going to be a DT drop from Best, and it's just really going to see how prepared Violet's going to be for this. And Violet has nothing in his main base, and this actually could cause some trouble here. It does look like Best is going to drop right here, and he's going to go straight for the Templar Archives. Obviously, he's going to try to lay it out before Storms, but I think the Storm has already been tech, so I don't think that's going to play a key part in this. I think he will already have Storm, but obviously a nice thought by Best. That would set it behind, and this is the Storm drop, and oh, I guess that killed some probes, but that was a really missed storm. He almost stormed the side of the Nexus or something. And now the Dragoons are out, and there is an Observer over there, so one goon will fall there. But these 2 goons. Nice micro. They're not going to lose any more goons, and looks like he will pick off the rest of these DTs. So actually, without too much damage done, does pick off the Temple Archives, but I felt it was too late of a drop to actually, I think he already has Storm. So this is going to be a huge battle when it happens. Both players have lots and lots of High Templars, so it's going to be basically Storm City. Both players look like they are moving out slightly. Here comes the shuttle again. Sorry, Best has a shuttle in the base. Now might have High Tempo. He might be going for another Storm drop. Wants some revenge for the one before. Really a bad miss Storm. Killed a couple probes with the other one, but one Storm was just a horrible miss Storm, I guess you could say. Storming buildings isn't going to be too effective. It does no damage, actually. So here we go. He is dropping these High Templars here, and oh, those are some nice Storms, and that is a lot of probe kills here. And this is the stuff that Violet can't let happen to him. He's going to fall behind quickly if he keeps this up. And now, oh, I thought there might be another Storm drop, but no, not yet. No sign of. He's almost going to try to march up and go to the natural expansion, but luckily for Violet, he does have 2 goons, so this, and he is actually cursing at the screen. Violet very frustrated. Another Storm going off, and Violet's in a lot of trouble. We are seeing these both players encountering each other at the middle of the map. Storms going everywhere. Beautiful Storms from Violet, but Best coming right back with Storms. Storms literally storming Storms. Best is going to have enough of an army to make Violet push back here, and Violet's going to have to retreat. Nothing he's going to be able to do to stop this, and yeah, so Best winning this battle and doing a lot of damage to Violet with the Storm drop. So Best is in a very comfortable situation, and this is what Violet feels he needs to do, expanding to the natural of the bottom left expansion. So let's probably go with about the 4 o'clock expansion, and he's gonna, if it's really gonna come down to if he can keep this hidden in the dark, then economically he's gonna be able to take the lead, and we may see good things happen. But if Best can somehow scout this using his brilliant PvP tactics, then I don't feel anything Violet's gonna be able to do. He needs to keep that expansion up. Oh, and oh, he's gonna come in and, oh wow, he loses the shuttle. So that was a dead end for that shuttle. Actually ran into 2 cannons sitting there. So unfortunately for Best, he's going to lose that shuttle. But we're this late into the game. Losing a shuttle, not a huge deal, although it doesn't help to lose it, I guess you could say. Scouting for expansions is what Best is doing. So now we might go to the, and those look like they are something on the mini-map in the bottom left-hand corner. Something is moving. And if Best is to scout this bottom left expansion, then Violet's going to be in a lot of trouble. He's going to have, Best would probably have no problem going and laying that out, and that would really set Violet far behind. Shuttles out sitting, and yes, Best is going to find Violet's expansion. Those 2 zealots will be killed by the cannons, but I'm sure he's gonna move over his army and get this expansion laid out shortly. And yes, the army is on the move. It does look like Violet is going for a drop of his own, as I saw on the mini-map here. He's gonna go for the shuttle from behind. I'm interested to see what he's gonna do. And yes, and this is a huge encounter in the middle, and he drops High Temple. We are seeing a Storm drop from Violet here, and no, you got a Storm. Oh, doesn't even Storm, and that's really going to hurt. A waste of High Templar. There's not quick enough reactions. Probably focusing on the battle that's going on in the middle of the map here. Concave shape, beautifully done from both players, but Best is just going to have too many goons again. Best will win this encounter as well as the last one. And